Hey everyone, this is Rishabh from Ascending Techie, and today I'm going to suggest a few laptops for you at different price ranges for work and for playing games under 67,000 rupees. I'm going to keep in mind that not everyone is tech savvy, and for some people it's hard to understand what the specifications of a laptop actually mean. I'll quickly explain what factors have affected my decisions and what you should keep in mind as well if you are about to buy a laptop which is not from the following list. There are four key elements we consider before we decide if we want a laptop. First is the processor. The latest generation of processors as of now is 10th gen from Intel, but those are expensive and not yet available in the market. For the most part, we'll try to select an 8th gen processor. 7th gen is good as well if you don't need the performance and are trying to save some money. Second is RAM. The lower budget section will have 4 GB RAM while other budget segments will have 8 GB RAM. If you want your laptop for just browsing the internet and using Word, Excel and PowerPoint, 4 GB is good for you. If you want to use slightly heavier programs together like Photoshop, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, CAD, Android Studio, Visual Studio, you should have at least 8 GB of RAM for a decent experience, and 16 GB would make it even better if you have the budget. Third is storage, and it is often one of the most overlooked spec by customers which often ruins their experience. Remember this, SSD is way much faster than a hard disk. With this in mind, we will try to buy a laptop which does have SSD in it. It is expensive but worth every single rupee you will spend. Fourth and last is dedicated graphics. If you want your laptop for working online or on Microsoft Office and similar software with a great battery life, you don't need dedicated graphics in your laptop. If you want to do gaming or other graphics intensive tasks like working on CAD, Blender and stuff like that, then you should buy a laptop with a dedicated graphics card. But a graphics card does affect your battery life. First up, we have work laptops which have a good CPU and great battery life with fast storage and a light in weight. So let's take a look at the first laptop on our list. This is the Acer Aspire 3, which I bought for my mother last year. It has the i3 8th Gen 2-core 4-thread processor with 4 GB RAM and 256 GB of SSD storage along with an empty 2.5-inch slot for an internal hard disk. Its weight is 1.9 kg and has a full HD LED backlit display and integrated graphics. In my experience, the screen is super bright and the laptop is very much lightweight. My mother uses it for working on Word, Excel, PowerPoint and Photoshop, and I've even done light video editing on this device. It works great and smooth. If you want to run heavier softwares, you could buy more RAM and you're good to go. The price as of now is 30,733 rupees. Next up, we have the Asus VivoBook 15 X512FA with the i3 8th Gen 2-core 4-thread processor with 4 GB RAM and 256 GB of SSD storage, along with an empty 2.5-inch slot for an internal hard disk and integrated graphics. Its weight is 1.7 kg, making it lighter than the Acer Aspire 3. This laptop has a backlit keyboard as well as a fingerprint sensor, which makes it a bit costly, coming in at 38,000 rupees. Next up, we have the ZenBook UX430UA from Asus with the i5 8th Gen 4-core 8-thread processor and 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of SSD storage. I'm unsure if it has an empty hard disk slot for you to expand storage, but it also has integrated graphics and is lighter than all the laptops on this list, weighing in at 1.3 kg, which is very light. It has one of the best color accurate display of the bunch along with a backlit keyboard. Its price is 49,747 rupees. Next up, we have the VivoBook 15 from Asus with the i5 8th Gen 4-core 8-thread processor and 8 GB of RAM and 512 GB of SSD storage along with a 2.5-inch expansion slot for a hard disk. This is the first laptop in our list with an NVIDIA MX230 2 GB graphics card. So if your work requires some graphics intensive tasks but not too much, then this will do. It weighs 1.9 kg and has a 60Hz LED backlit display. Its price is 50,989 rupees. Here I end the list for work laptops, and now we move on to budget gaming laptops or you can say entry-level gaming laptops. The first two laptops in this list are from TUF Gaming. They both have the same 4-core 8-thread processor from Ryzen, the Ryzen 5 3550H, and 8 GB of RAM, but here's where the specs are different. One has a 15-inch 120Hz panel, while the other one has a 17-inch 60Hz panel. With the 15-inch model, you only get a 1 TB hard disk but no SSD. But it does have an empty M.2 slot for an NVMe SSD drive. So you can and definitely should upgrade, or else you'll feel the device to be slow, which it is not. The 17-inch model has a 512 GB NVMe SSD and an empty 2.5-inch slot for internal hard disk, which is very good. The 15-inch model has the GTX 1050 3GB GPU, while the 17-inch model has a more powerful GTX 1650 4GB GPU. The 15-inch model weighs 2.2 kg and the 17-inch model is heavier at 2.7 kg of weight. Both have RGB backlit keyboards as well and almost the same price of 52,999 rupees, but what features you want is totally up to you. Now we have gaming laptops with 9th gen processors. First is the HP Pavilion Gaming with the i5 9th gen 4-core 8-thread processor, 8 GB of RAM and 512 GB storage with an empty 2.5-inch hard disk slot. Along with that, we have a 4 GB GPU, the GTX 1050, and a 60Hz WLED screen with the whole laptop weighing in at 2.17 kg along with a green backlit keyboard, and it goes for the price of 58,990 rupees. The last laptop on our list is the MSI Gaming GL63, which has one of the best combination of specs for that price point. Again, we have the Intel i5 9th gen 4-core 8-thread processor with 8 GB of RAM and 512 GB SSD and an empty 2.5-inch slot for hard disk. It has the GTX 1050 Ti 4 GB GPU along with a 120Hz IPS panel, which is an amazing combination if you want to do gaming on a budget. Its price is 65,999 rupees. So at the end of the day, I'd suggest going for the TUF laptops, but if you go for the 15-inch one, remember to buy a M.2 SSD or else you'll feel it is slow. If you have more budget, the MSI Gaming is a steal with all the right features packed into one for gaming. If you want more such videos about some specific laptops being compared or for a different budget range, let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, be kind to everyone.